What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this weekend's fight at 147 pounds between Ryan Garcia and Roly Romero. Guys, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please remember to hit subscribe? My YouTube analytics are telling me that almost 75% of you guys who watch my content haven't done that yet for me, so please do that now. Also, like this video and go down to the bottom of your screen right now and hit the bell notification button so you can be notified every time I put something out that's new. Thank you. All right, guys, this is the main event for a very busy weekend in the world of boxing. This fight takes place in New York City between Ryan Garcia and Roly Romero. We know with both guys, you get two really huge personalities. So in this video, we're gonna break down both fighters' careers. We're gonna talk about what they most recently have been up to, who they've been fighting, how they go about their business. And stay tuned to the end of the video because I'll be giving you my prediction. We're gonna go over those Las Vegas odds and I'll be telling you where to put your money. Let's get into it. All right, guys, the 29-year-old Roly Romero, the Las Vegas product, the Floyd Mayweather product, has been on a bit of a roller coaster ride as of late in his career. The once undefeated knockout artist has 2 losses, both being knocked out, most recently against Pitbull, and then we know his first career loss was to Tank Davis. He's a former world champion. He was an interim champ, and then he had the full belt in his first title defense. This is where he lost it to Pitbull. Roly Romero is a confident guy. He's a fighter who is not going to be the most technical fighter, but in my opinion, he's one of my most favorite fighters to watch. When I tell people that, they get a bit confused. I love an underdog guy in all sports as well. I like fighters, teams, any sort of athlete that on paper isn't going to be the most skilled or the most talented, but they're going to be there to compete. And in my opinion, this is Roly Romero. He has power in his hands. He doesn't do everything, maybe anything exceptionally well. He'd probably be a coach's nightmare, to be honest with you. Boxing is such a sport, they call it the sweet science for a reason, where you get old school coaches who are very tactical, very technique driven, everything from the footwork to where your hand placement is to how you throw your punches. Roly doesn't do any of that. He goes about his fights in his own way. He walks his opponent down, he tries to throw his power shots, he gets out of position a lot, and he throws everything into every punch. And a lot of times in his career, those punches have landed. It led him to become a world champion. So on paper, when you look at a kid who's not the biggest, not the tallest, not the fastest, doesn't have the sharpest punches, doesn't have the best footwork, and he still became a world champion, I cheer for people like that. I think he's an overachiever. We last saw him fight Manuel Jaimes. This fight wasn't really that competitive. On the judges' scorecards, he won almost every round to get him back in the winning circle, which propelled him to this fight. We know he has history with Ryan Garcia. There's been sparring footage from years ago. However you want to take that, I'm not a big fan of looking at fighters who were sparring and then making a prediction based on the outcome of sparring. It's sparring. It's not a fight. With his opponent, Ryan Garcia, we could talk until we're tired ad nauseum about what we saw in his last fight. If you watch a film study, I just rewatched the Devin Haney fight. It was a tale of two Ryan Garcias in terms of how he goes about his business in his fight. He relies a lot on the left hook, but in between big moments and big shots, he does go through these lulls. He doesn't throw many punches, and Devin Haney was winning rounds until he wasn't winning rounds. That left hook was on point, and no matter what he looked like in that fight buildup, what I saw in the ring against Haney was a different guy. He was focused, he was sharp, and if that same guy comes in the ring in New York against Roly, Roly is going to have his hands full. So right now what I want to do is take a closer look at what's at stake this Saturday in New York City. As Ryan Garcia makes his long-awaited return to the ring against Roly Romero atop a fight card that also features his longtime rival Devin Haney in a historic New York bill, live and exclusive on DAZN. The star will fight for the first time since a victory over his former foe was ruled a no contest after he failed a drug test, having also failed to make weight for the bout before. Garcia has been open about his demons and struggles since then, and there will be many that hope one of the American boxing's biggest names can put his troubles behind him. but Romero will be determined to make the most of his chance in the spotlight, while Haney will have to contend with the challenge of Jose Ramirez underneath him. Previously considered one of the biggest rising stars in American boxing, Ryan Garcia seemed poised to take the sport by storm before his clash with Devin Haney last year. But having missed weight before the bout, his subsequent victory ruled a no contest due to a failed drug test, missing out on the WBC super lightweight title as a result. He has not fought since, instead embroiled in controversies outside of the ring, but now he will return with a firm intention to stake his place as part of sport's upper tier again. Romero will be determined to stop him, however, with the former WBA super lightweight title holder having built a sturdy reputation of his own since turning pro. He suffered a second career loss against Pitbull Cruz last March, losing his crown in his first defense, but has since rebounded to defeat Manuel Jaimes in September. Romero will know he enters this contest as the outsider, with many fans having hoped for a Haney rematch instead. But here, he will be out to prove his mettle as well. Garcia is certainly not underestimating the threat that Romero offers against him, and addressed concerns that this time away from the ring could hinder his sharpness, and I quote, "I've got to take him as serious as I'm fighting Devin, so we're going to be prepared," he said. "I'm explosive and I'm hungry. I feel the adrenaline right now." Romero, meanwhile, weighed in on his prospects, having sparred with his opponent previously and reportedly got the better of him on a pair of occasions. And I quote, "He got his ass beat," he added. "Twice? 3 times the charm, right?" It marks the former's first bout since his no-contest performance last April against Devin Haney, and the latter's first fight since September points win over Manuel Jaimes. Guys, going into this fight, if you're Roly Romero, you have to make Ryan Garcia fight you on his back foot. We know Ryan is at his best when he's moving forward. He likes to hide that left hook with just that long jab. He's very twitchy with the left hook. He's explosive. Garcia's strengths are his speed and his power. Something that doesn't get spoken about enough about Garcia, though, is the added element that Derek James has added to his fight game, meaning his footwork. I used to be a guy to say Garcia's footwork was trash. Watching the Devin Haney fight, watching him against Oscar Duarte, seeing him using his circle left, circle right movement patterns and forcing his opponent to chase him around the ring, that was kind of the downfall of Duarte, and Duarte's a tough guy. He just couldn't cut the ring off. Having that element now into his arsenal is going to be an added bonus for Ryan Garcia. I love the work that he's done with Derek James. Now, he does overswing a bit on his left hook, and he is overly aggressive early on. Remember, he got dropped early in the second round against Luke Campbell. He got dropped in the second round against Gervonta Davis, both because he was overly aggressive and he got caught. This will play into the hands of Roly Romero if he can make Garcia pay. There's nothing on paper, like I already said, that Roly does better than Ryan in terms of the skills. Not the feet, not the speed, maybe the power, but I don't know. Ryan's taller, Ryan's bigger. Remember, guys, this fight's at 147, so we are going to see if both guys could bring that power up to a new weight class. Right now, I want to take a closer look at Roly Romero and see what he's been up to. Guys, Roly's 16-2 with 13 knockouts out of 2,688 super lightweights in the world. He's ranked number 42. Remember, guys, this is at welterweight. He has a career 81% career knockout to win ratio. His adoring fans know him as Roly. The 29-year-old American's an orthodox fighter, standing at 5'8" with a 68-inch reach. We last saw him fight Manuel Jaimes, 16-1, UD in the 10th. Isaac Cruz, 25-2. He got stopped in the 8th. Barroso, 24-3. Stopped him in the 9th, controversially, but he still won. Tank Davis, 26-0. He got stopped in the 6th. Anthony Idjit, 24-1. Stopped him in the 7th. Avery Sparrow, 10-2, stopped him in the 7th. Roly Romero is at his best when he's bowling you forward, where he's bullying you in the ring, and he's throwing his big shots. He's going to be there to get hit. His style is fun. If you have a fan-friendly style, you're going to grow a fan base, and you're going to be having opportunities for big fights, and this is exactly why Roly is here. He's an example that it's not always the skills that get you to the next level. It's the mindset and your willingness to trade. His skills are good enough to get to this level, obviously, but it's that mindset he brings into a fight. He wants to get you into a dogfight, and he wants to fight power with power, and that's why he's one of my favorite fighters to watch. What he's going to have to do, though, is get Ryan Garcia's respect early. Like I said, I feel he's going to be at his best if he can make Ryan fight off of Ryan's back foot and not give him any space to land that left hook. Right now, I want to take a closer look at Garcia and see what he's been up to. Guys, Garcia's 24-1 with 20 knockouts. He carries into the ring an 83% career knockout to win ratio. Because he's been inactive due to his suspension, he's not ranked in any of the sanctioning bodies. His adoring fans know him as King Ryan. The American's a 5'8" orthodox fighter with a 70-inch reach. We last saw him fight against Devin Haney. We know it was a no contest, no decision. Duarte, 26-1, stopped him in the 8th. Tank Davis, 28-0, he got stopped in the 7th. Fortuna, 37-3, stopped him in the 6th. Tago, 32-1, he won a UD decision in the 12th. Garcia has all the intangibles on his side. He's twitchy, he's fast, he's powerful, he's going to be the bigger guy, he's going to have the longer reach. It's going to come down to his mental. I'm going to see, you're going to see, we're all going to find out real quick if he did indeed take Roly Romero as serious as he took Devin Haney. Because if we see the same guy we saw against Haney, like I said, I'm expecting big things from Ryan Garcia. When I look at these guys side by side, on paper, I don't know what's up with BoxRec, but they have Roly Romero listed at 5'8". Just watch the stare downs and the fight week promos. Roly and Ryan are not the same height. Garcia's listed at 5'8.5", but he's looking to have almost a 2-inch height advantage. He has a reach advantage. On paper, the knockout percentages are similar, but when you see how Ryan knocks people out with that left hook versus how Roly knocks them out with a barreling right hand, I'd still give the power advantage to Ryan. I do like Ryan's straight right hand. It doesn't get spoken about enough. He threw it a lot against Devin Haney. What I don't want to see from Ryan Garcia is that BS Philly shell. I don't care how many people try to sell me on it somewhere. Sweet Pea Whitaker is rolling over in his grave when he's watching Garcia do that. And some of the best body work that Devin Haney got off was when Garcia was backing up mid-fight trying to Philly shell, and Haney just kept landing the body shots. And it was weird that Harvey Dock, the referee, was separating Haney off of Garcia when Garcia was the one rolling, giving his body to Devin, and Devin was taking advantage of it. I don't want to see that against Romero. I know Derek James doesn't want to see that. He said it at the last fight, but Garcia does what he wants to do in the ring, and as long as you keep on winning, you can get away with these sort of things. Right now, I want to take a closer look to see where you guys and Las Vegas is putting their money. Let's look at those Las Vegas odds. Wherever you are in the world, also let's pull out our betting apps down here in Australia. My book is called Sportsbet. Guys, remember, I'm only going to be going over the money line bets. Stay tuned to the channel. Friday morning, Sydney, Thursday evening in America, we'll be doing our YouTube live stream with pro boxing bettor Muscle Brown, to where we'll be covering the card in Saudi, we'll be covering the card in New York, and we'll be covering the card in Las Vegas, giving you our lock picks, our money prop bets, and the method of victories. But right Guys, currently they have Roly Romero as a big underdog. Garcia's $1.11. You put $100 on King Rye, you get your money back plus $11. The draw is 19-1. Roly is $7.75, meaning 100 on him gets you your money back plus $6.75. Now, I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm going for Roly Romero. I want Roly Romero to win. I want him to get his career back on track. A victory over Ryan Garcia will put him right there once again. Like I told you before, he's not the most technical, but personally, my personality, how I go about things, I like watching Romero. I like hearing him talk. Everything about the underdog, whenever people start hating on him for his shortcomings, I like cheering for that sort of guy. So I hope he goes in there, fights his heart out, and gets the victory. Where I'm putting my money, I'm gonna listen to my father's advice. He always said, Johnny, bet with your wallet, not with your heart. I'm predicting Ryan Garcia to win, so my money's on Ryan Garcia. But a lot of you might not know how to take this, but I'm going for Roly. And this is how I like running my channel. This is ethically how I make my picks. Even though I'm a fan of Roly, I just don't see him pulling this out. Will I want to see him win? Yes. But like I said, at the end of the day, I think Garcia is going to be too much. I think his size, his range, his distance, his left hook is going to be too much. You don't have to agree with me in the comment section below. How do you guys see this playing out? Also, if you haven't seen my breakdown of another fight on this card, my analysis and prediction of the Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez fight, stay tuned to the channel because that's coming up right now.